What is up, guys? Welcome back. Long time no see. It has been a while. Well, I don't know when I'm gonna upload this. The way I've been filming things and not editing them, I don't know what order I'm going to upload this, but it might be one of the first videos y'all see after I come back. So it's been a while. As y'all can tell by the title, I am pregnant with baby number 2. This is going to be a first trimester recap video. Let's just go on ahead and start this video off with a little bump date. I am farther along. I'm out of the first trimester. I'm in the second trimester. So right now I am like 18.5 weeks and I feel like my bump is big for me to be this early, but that's just how I feel. I don't know. Every time I say that and then I whip out the camera and try to take a picture or video of how big my stomach is, it doesn't look that big. So I'm like, I don't know. I know this is my second baby and I know that your stomach gets bigger sooner with your second child or the more children you have. But don't mind the background. We're literally leaving to go on a trip tomorrow, and don't mind this stain on my shirt. I don't know where it comes from. It wasn't there when I put the shirt on. But yeah, let's just go on ahead. Is this focus? I feel like it isn't focused and it's bothering me because it keeps going out of focus. I've been needing to film this video for a whole month now. Literally as soon as I got out of the first trimester, I was ready to film it. Let's just go on ahead and get into it. Before I found out I was pregnant, I already knew I was pregnant because I know my body and I knew my pre-period symptoms were not present, and the fatigue I felt more like the fatigue was fatiguing. When I would go to the gym, I was getting super exhausted, like lifting the same weights I would lift like a couple weeks prior, and I was just like, all right, I need to lighten the weight a bit because this is a bit intense. And I'm like, all right, I'm either pregnant or my period's about to start, so I'm like, let me just lighten it up anyways, give myself some grace. Yeah, so that was at like 4 weeks. This pregnancy was planned, so like I said, I already knew I was either pregnant or gonna get my period. So knowing that those symptoms were already kind of different, like with how my fatigue felt, usually I'm able to like push through and just lighten the weight by like 5 or 10 pounds depending on what exercise I'm doing. But I had to lighten the weight a whole lot more because I'm like, all right, I've done nothing. I'm like halfway through my workout and I've burnt so many calories, and my heart rate is just high. I'm dripping sweat, and so I'm like, okay, yeah, I definitely feel like I am pregnant. And also the way that I felt like towards my husband was very similar. It was the same. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it because it's normal. This happens, you know, hormones and all that stuff. The way I was feeling towards my husband was the same as I felt before I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. The day I found out I was pregnant, I was like so mad with him for no reason. He was just existing and I was bothered, and that's when I took the pregnancy test and saw that I was pregnant. That's how I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. But based off of how I was feeling, like I'm jumping all over the place. I'm so sorry. But the way I was feeling towards my husband this time around was very similar. Like I said, I was trying to kind of resist the feelings that I was feeling. Like it was just normal stuff. Like I was just agitated by normal things he would do, but I don't usually get like that on my period. Like before my period starts, I kind of do, but it's not to that extent. Like I said, it was already familiar from the first time, so I'm like, okay, I definitely feel like I'm pregnant. First day my period was late. I already knew that I was pregnant because I didn't have any pre-period symptoms. Literally just felt like my period was never gonna come. And that is how it was with my first pregnancy as well. Literally all the symptoms were the same. I did not have any implantation bleeding. I had that same like irritation with my husband and tiredness. Totally forgot about that part. I was so tired around the same time every day. It will always hit me as soon as my daughter woke up from her nap. She would be asleep an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I wouldn't be sleepy the whole time. But as soon as she woke up, I would get sleepy. So I'm like, why couldn't I get sleepy before she woke up, so you know we could just sleep at the same time? But anyways, it would always hit me around 5 o'clock every single day. And my husband, I think he was on nights or he was working his 14-hour shifts. I don't remember which one it was, but for a period of time he was working 14-hour shifts. So yeah, that made it a little bit difficult because yeah, I would be sleeping around the time time, or like I would get my little nap in around the time he would normally come home from work. But like I said, I think he was on nights. Yeah, I think he was on nights. I don't remember. Yeah, he was on nights. Pregnancy brain, I'm telling you, like, I'm so sorry. I should have jotted this down and made like a timeline, but just going off the dome here. Moving on, I was super tired, and I don't usually get that tired before my period, so I'm like, okay, yeah, this is definitely like the first trimester sleepiness. But that was like a week before I missed my period, so I'm like, it could just be I'm like extra tired this month or something before my period. That's when the everyday nap started, around like 3 weeks, and I finally took a test. I took a test the day after my period said it was late, and I knew already that I was pregnant, but I did not want to take the test because it's just something about like seeing the double lines, knowing that you are pregnant, when your body just starts tweaking and just is going into like straight full-blown pregnancy mode, and it just kind of feels like you just cannot control anything anymore. So I was like, all right, I don't want to like find out I'm pregnant, see those 2 lines, and then immediately like start getting nauseous, just because psychologically I know that I'm pregnant. So I had 2 more weeks of feeling normal, so I was continuing to go to the gym, modify my workout a little bit. As soon as week 6 came, the day I hit 6 weeks on the dot, that's when the nausea, morning sickness, all day sickness, everything hit me. It was terrible, okay? It was horrible. And not to mention, I was extra bloated. Like, I felt awful. My stomach felt awful for like 4 to 6 more weeks. No, yeah, 6 to 8 more weeks after that. And I didn't have any meds because, for one, my first prenatal appointment wasn't until 10 weeks. So I already had to go 6 weeks, not 6, yeah, I had to go 4 weeks after my morning sickness or the nausea started without any meds at all. And then when I finally got my first prenatal appointment, I was only given B6 and unison, and I didn't know that you're supposed to take it together for it to help alleviate nausea. I was just taking the B6 3 times a day. I'm like, this is not even helping, because it says B12 is supposed to help with the nausea, but I have B6 and I'm taking it 3 times a day. So is that supposed to equal up to B12? I don't know. Anyways, it wasn't working, and I was struggling, doing the best I could, feeling as sick as I felt, trying to take care of my toddler, make dinner when I felt like it. Like, we ate out so much for those first 3 months, and we still kind of are now, but not as bad. We were eating out like every other day. It was really bad, and the house was just falling apart. It wasn't falling apart, but we would go like a couple days without washing dishes, and it would pile up, and I just was not able to do my normal everyday housework like I was able to do. But I knew that obviously it's only for short while. Hopefully, I was praying that it wasn't gonna feel like that the entirety of my pregnancy, but the way I was feeling in that moment, it just felt like it was never gonna end. So my husband had to pick up some slack. He would have to help clean up the house some when he got off work, and I would feel bad about that because he would be up at 5:30 in the morning, get off work at 5:30, and have to come home and kind of pick up my slack where I just could not do it. I felt bad and felt guilty because I know he was exhausted, on top of him having to kind of step up more with our daughter. He was doing the same routine, but like, it was rough because there was no room for him to not feel like doing it and for me to do it, because I just could not do it. Like, I would just be laying on the couch, not feeling like getting up at all. And not to mention, the worst symptom of pregnancy of all is the extra saliva. Yeah, as soon as week 6 started, like, yeah, that started too, and that just makes your nausea worse. Having so much saliva in your mouth, you not wanting to swallow it, so you spit it out. So the up and down from that, or if you don't feel like getting up, you just hold it in your mouth. And I'm not a spit bottle, spit cup girl at all. I cannot, like, I have to spit it in the sink or in the grass. It has to be gone. I can't just hold it in a cup. I can't. I don't know. I did what I could to survive, and then finally started getting a little bit relief. Like, a few days before I started the 2nd trimester, I was starting to feel better, and I'm like, wow, what a miracle. Because with my first pregnancy, I did not get any relief with the all-day nausea until my 3rd trimester. Like, the first day of my 3rd trimester, I felt better, and I'm like, well, dog, I'm big as a whale now. There's no need for me to, you know, feel better. There's not much I can do. Yeah, yeah, I was just grateful to see an end in sight. But that being said, I'm still not 100% like nausea free. I still taking some medicine to help because my 16-week appointment, I ended up having to get some medicine to help the nausea because for one, whenever the nausea hits, I can't do much. So housework piles up and I have to struggle through doing basic things to take care of my toddler, like making her food or just playing with her. Like those things were such a challenge for me. So I'm like, yeah, I need some medicine. I cannot do this. Got some Zofran and some stuff to help with my acid reflux, and it's been helping a ton. Like I feel human now, and sometimes I don't even have to nap during the day. But last week, it's Saturday now, so like this past week my daily naps kind of crept up on me again, which I don't know why. I didn't do anything different other than starting to go to the gym, but that's really, it was only 2 days out of the week, so I don't know where the tiredness came from. I don't know, it just overlapped and just kind of caught up to me. Yeah, going back to the early weeks, like around 7-8 weeks, I also was experiencing some acid reflux, and I did not realize that it was acid reflux until at my 16-week appointment. My doctor was like, are you experiencing acid reflux? I'm like, no, it's not acid reflux, because when I think of acid reflux, I think of it like just burning sitting in your throat or just like feeling it here, and I wasn't feeling it there. I was just feeling it in my stomach. Like it just felt like a ball of fire was just sitting in my stomach, and she was like, yeah, that's acid reflux. So she prescribed me some stuff for that on top of the Zofran, and that has been helping me, but it's definitely weeks too late, like a month and a half too late, because I had to deal with that all day, every day, from 6 weeks to 13 weeks. But whenever I was out and about, not the grocery store, it's something about being in the grocery store that just did not help my symptoms at all. I don't know how to explain it, but I definitely had to prepare myself mentally and physically to go into the grocery store, and you know, that was rough. But yeah, whenever we were out and about, like at a gathering or function or something, or just at someone's house, I did feel a little bit better. I guess I had distractions from my symptoms, but I still would kind of feel it a little bit, but I would try not to focus on it. This first trimester was definitely harder this time around than it was the first time around, and I hear it gets worse every time. And it's probably because I wasn't able to just lay in bed and sleep as long as I wanted to in the morning like I was able to the first time. So yeah, definitely just being able to rest and lounge makes a difference in how you feel. Yeah, I'm just thankful for Zofran and my acid reflux medicine, because that really been a game changer. Yeah, we'll see how the rest of this second trimester goes. Can't wait to find out the gender of what we are having. I'm fine either way, but of course everybody wants their girl and boy just so they can be done if they want to, and I think I want to, because this first trimester was definitely no joke. Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos throughout this pregnancy, and I will see you guys in my next one.